now less than 2 weeks until the Pioneer Annual Leaders Conference, and we're both busy and excited in anticipation. But we wanted to take a moment to send you another update from Ness, as we know so many of you have been faithfully praying for her and her husband Rich, as well as their daughter Amelie, since the loss of their daughter Lauren.
Hi everyone, here's an update from me. First of all, I want to thank you for all of the prayers, the love, the messages and flowers we've received over the last few months from you. We have felt so carried and cared for and loved through one of the hardest seasons of our life. I really do want to commend you, Pioneer, for how you got behind us in praying for a miracle and going after the humanly impossible. We didn't see the answer we wanted, but we did see the impact of that prayer, and we did see the power of God break in with the most extraordinary supernatural grace given to Lauren as her body shut down, but her spirit grew so strong. She had zero fear of death or dying, trusting in her Father God in a really beautiful and a deep way as she headed to glory. If you want to hear more of the grace we experienced, our tributes to her are on my Facebook profile with a link to the Thanksgiving service. So this current season for me right now is summed up in 3 things: going east, going slowly, and going towards growth. Going east is a phrase from one of the books Rich and I have found to be extremely helpful at this time, called A Grace Disguised by Jerry Sitzer. It basically describes how when you lose someone you love, everything in you wants to go west, towards the setting sun, towards the old story that you had and the old story you desperately want back. You want to run after the last bits of warmth you might be able to get. But the counterintuitive thing is to go east, into the darkness, into the pain, and face it. To feel the feelings, knowing they will be devastating, but they will not destroy you. And as you head east, you head towards the new story, the one you didn't really want, but the one that you trust will end up eventually to be a good story. And so you walk through the darkness and eventually you see the rising sun on the other side. And so for Rich and I, we're going east. It means, for example, we're breaking bread every evening, sometimes inviting friends into that, but mostly inviting Jesus into our pain. In this season, faith for us is being defined as walking through the middle of pain and not turning our face away from the Father. So I'm going east. I'm also going slowly. I have deliberately re-entered work part-time. And this again is very counterintuitive for me. I love my work. I feel called to what I do. I enjoy responsibility, but I know I have to create the space for the grief work at this time, for crying, journaling, reading, worshipping, seeing a bereavement counsellor. The temptation is to get busy, to try and shortcut the process, but I know that that won't work in the long run. I want God to be able to do a deep and a thorough work of healing my heart, as that's the place I lead from, and so it needs to be whole. So do still feel free to invite me along to events or gatherings that you want me to be at or to contribute to, but just know I will be pacing myself and I'm going slowly. So I'm going east, I'm going slowly. I'm also going towards growth, because I really do believe that the soul can be enlarged through loss. As we learn to embrace sorrow, we actually can expand our emotional capacity to experience joy, and can even end up with a heightened appreciation of life and all its goodness. Our hearts can grow even bigger through grief, so our ability to love God deeply and love others deeply gets increased. Rich and I already had a strong vision of heaven, but there is now greater revelation still. And it's a very freeing thing to be less attached to the things of earth that matter little and have an even greater conviction to build things of eternal value with the rest of our lives, and to see as much of heaven on earth as is possible. And finally, a thank you to the Pioneer team for carrying the load for me over these last few months, and a very special thank you to Richard Anniss, who has been an outstanding co-pilot in this season and a very good friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Ness. Honestly, I'm sure I speak for us all across the network, and I know I speak for the Pioneer team. You are such an inspiration to us all in your honesty and your courage, with your determination to hold on to hope and faith, and with your unwavering passion for the gospel. We all love you, and we continue to pray for you. Now, Ness will be speaking at the Leaders Conference in Manchester, and we've also got Andy Hawthorne from the Message Trust and our own Billy Kennedy speaking live. And we'll be having a message from Alan Hirsch that he's recorded especially for us. We've got seminars on intercultural church, movements for recovery, youth ministry, mental health, first aid, missional communities, human sexuality, creation care, and more. So join us in Manchester in person, and you'll get to interact with others from across the network, people who you've either never met or perhaps haven't seen in years. And our in-person tickets also include a free lunch. As well as full conference tickets, we also have one-day options that include online access for the other day. And of course, there is an online only option as well. All our tickets include subsequent access to the audio recordings of all of the seminars. So what are you waiting for? Book your ticket now at pioneer.org.uk/ALC. Our special offering this year will be divided equally between Pioneer International, working in some of the poorest countries of the world, and Pioneer Training, making leadership training and development more affordable and accessible. So please do come ready to give at the conference, and consider whether your church could make a corporate gift as well. Finally, in case you haven't heard, we'll be sending some fantastic pre-recorded content to all of our Pioneer churches to show after their own time of worship on Pioneer Sunday on the 6th of March. Well, that's it for now. I really do hope that we will see you at ALC, either in person or online. Bye for now.